Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You know, I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And with that in mind, I've got this quote right here. I think you're really going to like it. Now, this is kind of one of those common sense things, but it's one of those we need a reminder of from time to time. Oscar Wilde said, "Experience is one thing you can't get for nothing." How true that is. If you want experience, you got to put something into it, right? You got to make yourself available. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. Yeah, it's going to cost you something. And you know what? That's okay. Maybe you have kind of been sitting back a little bit. You've had this idea of what you want to do, but you don't have any experience doing that thing. And it's like, I really enjoy the thought of that, but I just don't know what it takes to do it. Well, that's the lovely thing about reaching out, making a connection with somebody who's currently doing that thing. You never know what kind of info you can gain. You'll never know what kind of advice you'll receive from somebody who's been there, done that, and got the scars to prove it. You know what I mean? And if you're lucky, maybe they'll be able to sit down with you, tell you a little bit more about what it is that you're so intrigued about, and maybe even give you a shot at being a part of it in their world. And then that's going to butter you up to the whole possibility of you doing it on your own. So, this world, I'm telling you, it's huge. There are a lot of great things in it. There are a lot of great things that you can learn and ways that you can impact your world. So never think that because you don't have the experience that you can't go do it. But you do need the experience. That's one of those catch-22s of getting your first job. You remember that? You didn't get the job because you don't have experience, but they're not giving you the job so you can't get any experience. That's when you got to seek out those connections. So find somebody in your life that's already doing that thing that you are really intrigued about, and see what they can tell you. And maybe that partnership will grow into an amazing future. You never know unless you put the time in. So just an idea for you. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show.
I remember someone once asked me, "What's the difference between a good friend and a best friend?" I said, "A good friend knows all your stories, but a best friend helped you write them."
In this life, there are givers and there are takers. You know exactly what I'm talking about, especially the takers, right? Those people that you only hear from when they need something. Kind of gets on your nerves, doesn't it? Yeah, well, a little word about those takers coming up after Patrick Mayberry and Easy to Praise. Maddie has something to tell us all about those takers in our lives. Here, see what you think about this.
I wanted to bring up takers in our life. We all have some. I want to challenge you not to give all of yourself to these people, because they are really only focused on what you can do for them. What you can do for them, what you can provide for them. Takers are really concerned only about themselves, not about you. So it's my advice for today. Be conscious of the takers in your life. Have a good day.
We all have them, don't we? Those people who reach out only when they need something. It doesn't make you feel too good to hear from them, because you know whenever you get that phone call, you see that on the caller ID, it's like, ah. And maybe you don't even take the call. Maybe you send it straight to voicemail. Yeah. Isn't it one of those weird catch-22s? Because we're called to be salt and light in this world, and we're called to make a difference. But it seems like people sometimes just want to take advantage of us, and that's not a fun place to be, is it? Wow. You know, as I'm talking about it, I'm thinking more and more about how sometimes we're that way with God. How we only ever come to Him when we need something. When stuff is really tearing up in our lives. It's like, hey, we know we need help now. Okay, let's go to Him. But how often do we come to Him with the good stuff? You know? How often when great things happen do we look up and say, "Thank you, Jesus. That would not have happened without you." To me, this whole idea of the takers in our lives is just a reminder that we need to be better ourselves with our Heavenly Father. Let's not just be takers. Let's be givers as well. Let's be givers of the love that He shared with us to other people. Not to the point that they're taking advantage of us. I understand it's kind of a slippery slope you can get on. But being an impactful person is what we're called to do. So there's one thing that I've come to know is that if you pray about it, he's going to tell you, hey, is this the right thing? Is this not the right thing? He'll let you know. So maybe you're at that point with somebody in your life right now. It's like, I don't know if I should help them anymore. Am I enabling them not to help themselves? What's going on? Yeah, that's a fun one, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, keep that in prayer. Keep God at the center of what you're doing, and everything's going to turn out just fine. God will reveal to you what you need to do, so stick with it. And at the same time, don't be just a taker when it comes to your Heavenly Father. So the older I get, the more I realize that I'm just a big kid. I don't think of myself as an adult. Come on, I was talking with my wife a while back. We were talking about these family functions that we go to, and sitting at the kid table. I kind of prefer the kid table. You know? Hey, stick around. We've got more to talk about on this topic. Do you remember playing as a kid? Yeah, you had a huge imagination, right? You could take yourself anywhere. Well, then what happened? You grew up. You became an adult. All these responsibilities kind of dull all that fun. You know, it's something else to be playing and have this huge imagination while checking your bank account and seeing that, hey, it's a little low. There are a lot of responsibilities. You got to go work. But hey, that's one of the coolest things about having kids. And Andrew found that out, and he's sharing it with the world over on TikTok. In fact, there are quite a few things that he is reliving his childhood vicariously through his kid with, and he had a little something to say about it. So here, take a listen, see if you can relate.
What's an unsung benefit to having kids that nobody really talks about? I'll go first. You literally get to relive your childhood through play with them. Let me give you some examples. Dad, you want to play with Play-Doh? Yes. Dad, you want to play Connect 4? Dad, you want to go on the swing set with me? Hey, Dad, want to play Hot Wheels? Do you want to play Lego? You get to watch this person that's never experienced this thing that you loved start to love it themselves. It's awesome.
It's so cool that he brought that up today, because just yesterday, I got to witness my little girl experience something new for the first time. So every now and then I'll take her to the gas station after picking her up from school. And we'll go in there and get a few treats, right? Get her a drink, get her a snack, and usually ice cream. So she walks out of there with 3 things. She makes out like a bandit, I know, but I spoil her sometimes. I'm sorry. But she got something yesterday she'd never had before. We were walking through the aisles and she picked up this pack of stuff, and it was combos. She'd never seen combos before. You know, it's like those bread filled things. It's the bread casing, the filling on the inside. Sometimes it's nacho cheese flavor. But she picked up the pizzeria flavor yesterday. And she's like, hey, what are these? And I told her, oh, those are so good. Those are combos. I think you're going to love them. So she was adventurous, and she went ahead and got those with a drink. And she got like a Snickers ice cream bar, right? So I got to see her experience the combos for the first time. And the smile that came over her face was amazing. So she is experiencing something that I fell in love with years and years ago. And I'm getting to see her do it for the first time. That's one of the coolest things about having kids, you know? They keep us young, and I'm so thankful for that. Oh, they keep us on our toes, too. And I was kind of going over our schedule with some friends yesterday, and I told them, so we do tumble on Mondays. We do volleyball for one team on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the other team on Wednesdays. Then we have games on Saturdays. So we stay spread pretty thin, but you know, it's all worth it. Grace is developing as a volleyball player, and she's having fun with her friends, and it's really it's a lot of fun for us parents too. Is it tiring? Of course it is, but it's worth it. Hey, I got a good feeling somebody's going to be winning some gift cards very, very soon on the Carline competition. Is it going to be you? I sure hope so. Stick around. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn! Now let's crank that engine, and then let's start the music so I can say, hey everybody, it's time to play the Carline competition. It's your chance to win some gift cards. We've got some gift cards to Wendy's, also to Albertville Home Bakery, and to the Caring Heart Thrift Store in Arab. It's always a lot of fun. I ask the question, give you the cue to call. You call me up, let me know the right answer. You win 3 gift cards, 1 to keep, 2 to give away. And I ask you who you're going to give them to on the radio so you can share some love with them. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Here's the first question. Which is the most abundant metallic element in the human body? Is it A, magnesium, B, calcium, C, lithium, or D, radium? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, which is the most abundant metallic element in the human body? Is it A, magnesium, B, calcium, C, lithium, or D, radium? 256-505-0885. You got to drink milk to strengthen this in your body, by the way. That's my little hint for you. 256-505-0885. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, who am I talking to?
Paisley?
Paisley. Paisley Brown?
Yeah.
Very cool. What are you up to today?
Going to school.
Oh, all right. What grade are you in?
Third?
Third grade. And now, have you liked this year so far?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite part of it?
Recess.
Yes, the time to just chill with your friends, get a little snack. I love recess too. I wish I had recess here at work, but I think maybe I can make your morning a little more fun here. I got this question for you that might just land you 3 gift cards if you get it right. Are you pretty smart, Paisley?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to test that smartness right here. Which is the most abundant metallic element in the human body? Is it magnesium, calcium, lithium, or radium?
Calcium?
Are you sure? Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
All right, congratulations, you got it right. You just won 3 gift cards. What do you think about that, Paisley?
That's amazing.
I think it's amazing too. Now, here's the part that I really love because we give you 3 gift cards. We want you to keep one, give the other 2 away to 2 very special people. Can you tell me about those 2 very special people?
My mom and my dad.
Oh, what do you love about that dad of yours?
Because he's funny.
Because he's funny. Oh, he's always telling jokes, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. And what do you love about that mom of yours?
She's sweet.
Oh, wow. It sounds like you got some pretty amazing parents, Paisley. Thank you for telling us all about them. And I hope you have a great day at school. Could I ask you one more question, Paisley?
Yeah.
Why do you like listening to this radio station?
Because it's happy music.
I'm so glad you enjoy it. You're the reason why we're here, girl. Go have a great day, okay?
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.
And just like that, Paisley Brown takes home 3 gift cards on the first question of today's Car Line competition. Are you going to be next? I sure hope so, because I got another question lined up right here. And here it is. Which of these mammals lays eggs instead of giving birth to live young? Is it an elephant, an otter, a platypus, or a whale? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, the question is this. Which of these mammals lays eggs instead of giving birth to live young? Is it an elephant, an otter, a platypus, or a whale? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, 256-505-0885. There's one named Perry, by the way. 88.5 JFM. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's your name?
Go in.
All right. So, do you know a lot about animals?
Yeah.
What's your favorite animal?
Giraffe.
A giraffe? Why is that your favorite animal?
Because they have tall necks.
Yes, that's right. You know what color their tongue is?
But
Yeah, black and purple. It's really cool. Have you ever got to feed a giraffe before?
yeah.
You did? Was that fun?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, we're going to talk about a different animal now. Now, it's still a mammal, but here's the question I have for you. Which of these mammals lays eggs instead of giving birth to live young? Is it an elephant, an otter, a platypus, or a whale?
Platypus.
How did you know that?
Because I guess.
You guessed? Well, you guessed right. Congratulations. You just won 3 gift cards. What do you think about that?
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, here's the part that I love. I get to ask you about the 2 very special people you're going to give one of your gift cards to. So, who are they?
Mother and Poopa.
Oh, tell me something special about that Nana.
He always lets me come to her house.
Oh, and who was that other one? Did you say Peepaw?
Poopa.
Okay, tell me something special about that person.
He lets me get a drink of my drink when I'm laying in my bed.
Oh, cool. Sounds like you got some amazing people in your life. Wow. Thank you so much for calling me today. Now, Colton, what's your last name, bud?
Brown.
Brown. Colton Brown. The same address as Paisley? Is that your sister?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I will get these gift cards sent your way, okay?
That's the wrong address. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. So that's for
For
Colton
him and Paisley.
and for Paisley. Cool. All right. Well, I have just changed it out here, and I'll get these gift cards in the mail. Now, is this mom or grandma or aunt, or who am I talking to?
You're talking to Munner, the grandmother.
Grandmother. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, I had them for 10 days.
10 days. Wow.
Yes, parents are on vacation, so
Whoa.
I've had the pleasure of having them for 10 days.
Yeah? They call them grandkids because you can spoil them and send them back home, but that's not the case for the past 10 days. You've had them.
That's right.
Have you had a good time?
I've had a blast. I'm just tired.
I got you. Wow. Well, could I ask you one question since I got you here on the phone? Why do you like
Sure.
listening to this radio station?
It just gives a good start to a good day.
Awesome. Thanks for listening. Y'all have a wonderful day, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
And that's going to bring us to the end of today's Carline competition. It's been an absolute blast, hasn't it? Wow. We'll do it again tomorrow, starting at 7 o'clock. And little birdie told me I'm going to have a chance for somebody to win some concert tickets later today. Yeah, to that big concert happening in Trustful next Thursday night. Matt Maher, John Reddick, The Stories I Tell Myself tour. Yeah, you might just be taking home a family 4-pack of tickets to that concert. So be listening, all right? If you have to step away from your radio, you definitely need to tune us in on our website, 885jfm.com. Click that On Now button, press play, and you are good to go. All right, we'll be doing that later on. But hey, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about between now and then, so stick around, okay? All right, let's get to some business and ministry impact partners, some weather, and some word of life, and back to the music that you love. When you're out and about in your community, there's so many things to see. You notice all the subtle changes, don't you? Well, how about those yard sales? I gotta be careful with those because I start looking at the yard sale stuff more than I'm looking at the road, and that's not too safe. Oh, I see a few things that pique my interest. I'm like, okay, we've got to go back. I've got to pull over. We got to go take a look at this stuff. A yard sale is just fun, right? Part of the fun of it is really haggling there at the end, trying to get the price down. But hey, I came across an idea for you. And now this lady put together a kindness yard sale. So all of the items are out in the yard, but none of them have prices on them. How does that work? Well, I'm so glad that I piqued your interest because here is what it's for. You see, Susan has been doing this for 3 years now. And the first time she did it, she emptied her own closet and she put everything out there in the yard. But she told people, I don't have a price on these items because I want you to pay whatever you're willing to donate, because all the money raised from today's yard sale is going to go toward our community. Yeah, whether that is throwing a party for the Alzheimer's patients at the local nursing home, or maybe it's for buying Christmas presents for the needy kids this Christmas. It's always fun because you're always giving to the community as you're buying stuff there at the yard sale. She said, it's funny. Some people might, pick up 20 dresses for $20 while somebody else might pick up a stuffed teddy bear for $240. It's just how generous you are with your giving and how you want to impact the community. So it's a great way to kind of help the people who are hurting in her community right then with the stuff that she's selling. But then it's another great way to raise money for those people in need throughout the year and make sure they're taken care of. So I don't know, maybe this is something that could catch fire here. Maybe you should have a kindness yard sale. What do you think about that? I love it. So just a few more facts and figures about this. The first year that she did it, she raised just a little over $1,000. But the second year, over $11,000. And the community has really gotten on board, cleaning out their toy boxes and their closets and bringing all that they can to this yard sale so that people benefit right there in their community. How cool is that? I just had to share it with you. There's a lot of good stuff going on in this world, and as long as I keep finding this good news, I'll keep sharing it with you. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Now your word of life. Today it comes to you from Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Imitate God, therefore, in everything you do, because you are his dear children. I love that verse. You know, I think of a kid imitating. If it's a little boy, I see him imitating his father. If I see a little girl, I see her imitating her mom, because there's something inspiring them to be like their parents when they grow up. And that's how we're supposed to be with our Heavenly Father. Treating everything like he treats it. Hey, that's a destination, isn't it? I hope we're all trying to get there. Why don't you share that word of life with somebody? We've got it ready for you across all of our socials. That's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. And that's a place to go to listen to us whenever you're away from your radio or outside of our listening area. It's real easy. Just click that On Now button, press play, and you're good to go. Right now, we're keeping people company in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you for making us part of your day. Plus, we got Joel Modest hanging out with us down in Palm Coast, Florida. We've got Arab and Gunnersville hanging out. Is that Savannah Mitchell listening? I think it is. Plus, we've got some listeners across the ocean, all the way over in Helsinki, Finland. It still blows my mind that people can listen to this radio station from North Alabama across the world. And hey, I want to make sure you understand that we're thankful for you listening, whether you're listening on the stream or on the radio, because you're a part of our story of 28 years of reaching this world with some really good news. So thank you for being here. All right. How do you like choice? Like when you go to a fast food restaurant, I mean, when you order your combo, they always ask you want that small, medium, or large? Well, really the choice you have when it comes to your drink is how many times do I want to get up and refill it, right? I mean, this just become a common everyday kind of thing. Well, that might be changing in the coming years. And McDonald's already plans on doing away with that drink station where you can get a hold of it. They're going to start putting it behind the counter. More about that and the reason why coming up here on the show. I love talking about life with you, so we'll get into it coming up shortly right here on your 88.5 JFM. Making your day better. Temptation is a real thing, and I've been battling it here lately. Let me kind of explain. It's nothing really bad. It's just I've been trying to be a little more healthy lately, trying to make better decisions when it comes to what I eat. And so I've been trying to cut out the bread. Yeah, I've been trying to cut out the sweets too, and that's the hardest part because I got a huge sweet tooth. So a while back, I went to Publix and I got one of their pre-made salads. I thought, hey, let's give this a try. Maybe it'll be okay. A salad for lunch? Usually that comes with lunch, but no, that was the lunch on that day. And I thought, well, since I'm being so healthy, I think I need something sweet too. So I got a little bag of those Oreo minis. Oh, those things are so good. So I did not eat the entire bag after I ate the salad that day. I ate maybe 3 of them. And then I twisted it and I put it away, right? But here's the problem. I found it the other day, and I've been on more of a health kick lately. I've been eating those salads. I've been eating fish. I've been eating the leans and the greens and all that stuff, and I've been trying to lose weight, and it's been working. But I found the Oreos the other day, and they're in my office, and I'm like, oh, it is all I can do not to open that drawer and get that bag and eat the rest of those Oreo minis. I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm salivating. So, you know what? Sometimes it's best for us to get rid of our triggers, those things that tempt us to do wrong. And, well, when it comes to food, McDonald's is getting ready to do that. So stick around and I'll tell you exactly how they're doing that at the top of the hour. First, Jordan Feliz and The King is Alive right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Huh, those Oreos are calling my name. So this past weekend where I go to church, we had our church service out at Lake Gunnersville, the state park, at the beach pavilion. And let me tell you, it was quite an undertaking. Being at the church at 7 o'clock that morning, getting everything put in the truck and the trailer and getting it taken over to the beach pavilion, set up, all the sound run, sound checks, praise and worship practice. I play drums for the church as well, so I was busy. And then sitting there in the breeze, listening to our pastor preach, it was like, wow, this feels so good. I'm enjoying being outside today. But then after service and the baptism, well, that was really cool too. It was time to tear everything down, put it all back in the trailer and the truck, and get ready to take it back to the church. Except the problem is, we were hungry. So somebody suggested going up to the State Park Lodge and eating lunch there. I've never eaten there before. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So we all went up there and we had a blast. They had some delicious food up there. They had the prime rib. They had crab kind of bisque. And they had baked tilapia. Anyway, I could go on and on about the food. It was absolutely delicious. Oh, and the desserts, don't get me started. But that's something we were talking about while we're sitting at the table. How a buffet, I think, is more of an American thing than anywhere else. We had somebody sitting at the table who's done some time in missionary work over in Austria. And the buffet is not a big thing over there like it is over here. And isn't that funny? Because we love choices. We love being able to get whatever we want, and we're kind of spoiled that way, right? In other countries, even when it comes to your drinks, you can't just get a refill. You've got to ask the employee, you got to pay for it, all this stuff. But here, we enjoy free refills at most of these fast food places, but not so fast, McDonald's says. You're not going to be able to get those drinks yourself anymore. Well, that's what they're working toward. In about a decade, they plan to have all of those drink stations behind the counter. Yeah, they want to try to make this customer experience as uniform as possible. One thing they've noticed is about 85% of people who ate in their restaurants last year did so by takeout. Whether that was through the drive-thru, which was 75%, or ordering online, doing the delivery stuff. Yeah, so they wanted to make sure that if you ate McDonald's taking it out, you had the same experience as if you were when you actually came and ate there. It makes a lot of sense. And plus, I mean, do we really need all the sugary drink we can handle? But we do love choice. So it feels like somebody's taking something away from us. And also the concoctions you can come up with there at the drink station, especially with the new Coca-Cola ones, the ones that have all the different flavors you can mix and match and all that. Yeah. I just wanted to turn you on to this whole idea. McDonald's is soon to be doing away with that. Well, soon, relatively. In about 10 years, they plan on transitioning. So what do you think about that? Less choice. Are you okay with that? Yeah? Well, thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I just love talking about life with you. And whenever I find something interesting, I'll bring it to you, see what you have to say about it. Hey, if you've got an opinion, I want to hear it. My number's 256-505-0885. Call me up. Let me know. Let's talk about it, okay? Thanks. Okay, so just a few minutes ago, I asked you what you thought about this story. I told you that McDonald's is getting ready to phase out the drink stations that you can access on the other side of the counter, on the customer side, because they want everybody to have the same experience with McDonald's. So if you get it to go or you come to the restaurant, you still are interacting with an employee. You still have to get your drink from them from behind the counter. So it's kind of weird, right? Because we're so used to just having it at our disposal, and it feels like it's kind of being taken away from us. Now, this is something they plan on doing over the next 10 years, so I asked your opinion of it, and guess what? I got a call. Here, take a listen. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Hey, bud, it's Evelyn. How are you?
Evelyn, I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Listen, I was like, your opinion, my opinion about this drink thing, I'm sitting here going, we're so used to that. I mean, since we were kids, we've been able to go do what we want with a machine. And yesterday, that it is a temptation. You're talking about sweets. I'm the same as you, and I grew up thinking that was water. I mean, my parents they let me get those kinds of things. So
Yeah.
Little Debbie cakes and Coca-Cola, those were staples at my house.
Right.
So, and Mellow Yellow, I had a big Mellow Yellow yesterday, knowing I didn't need it, and they're loaded in sugar.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I have mixed emotions about that. And I'm like, I'll be 61 if they wait a decade, buddy. And I guess that they're really good because the older you get, the more likely you are to have problems with sugar. And I'm like, well, Lord, I know it'd be a good thing for us Americans as far as our wellness. But it's like, I feel like I'm not getting my money's worth. But it's the same thing as the clean your plate thing generation,
Yeah.
It's like, in the end, our friends that you know some of them, that have always been very focused on wellness and that type of thing. They'll tell you you're going to pay for it one way or the other. Like, okay, if you gorge on all that food because you think you need to clean your plate, then it's going to make you overweight, and overweight can cause health issues. It's kind of like one of those things. And it's the same thing with in my mind, I'm like, what? That feels like then they need to lower the price if they're going to take away and not let you have refills, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, what we consume can end up consuming us. So
Very well said. Yeah.
it's hard. But anyway.
I get what you're saying. It's like a catch-22 because you expect it, but then you don't need it, but you feel like it's taking something away from you. I totally get it. I'm right there with you.
I'm telling you. So anyway, I don't know. But that would be interesting. Some things like that, I don't hear. You teach me things I don't know, and I'm like, okay. But anyway, I hope you have a good day, okay?
Thanks, you too, and thanks for calling and telling me your opinion. Hey, thinking of that she just brought up, the clean plate mentality. Wow, I haven't thought of that in a while, but I'm like hardwired for that too, because growing up, I was told to clean my plate. Eat everything on the plate. Don't let anything go to waste. And as I get older, I realize that, hey, sometimes my eyes are bigger than my stomach and there's more on that plate than I really need. And if I eat it, I feel terrible afterwards, right? I feel bloated. So it's one of those things I'm kind of working out of, but trying, not to waste at the same time. So I get the whole idea of it. But yeah, she's right. With this whole drink thing, it can become a catch-22 because it's there and some people know that they don't need it, but since it's there and they paid for it, they feel like they need to go ahead. And luckily there are some options there, with the zero sugar, the diet stuff, all that, and the health benefits of the diet stuff is questionable as well. I understand that too. So yeah, Evelyn, thank you so much for your opinion on that. I really appreciate you calling me. And hey, if you've got an opinion on it, I want to hear from you too. The number's 256-505-0885. All right, back to the music that you love. I got Rachel Lampa and Somebody to You. By the way, I want to make sure that you know I've got an interview with Rachel Lampa coming up. You'll be able to hear right here on the show soon. Well, I want to shout some people out real quick listening to us on the stream. I see you in Anderson, South Carolina. Thank you for making us part of your day. It really means a lot. Also, Skyline, Alabama, Boaz, Albertville, Gunnersville, Arab hanging out with us right now. We've got some listeners over in Reno County, Kansas. And we've had Joel Modis hopping on with us from time to time down in Palm Coast, Florida. And we've got some listeners right now in Helsinki, Finland as well. And whether you're listening to us on the stream or the radio, just want to make sure that you understand that we are thankful for you. You're the reason why we're here in the first place. 28 years now of reaching this world with some really good news, and you are a part of our story. So thank you for being here. Hey, speaking of stories, here's Big Daddy Weave with a song called My Story. Right here on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Bedtime is always a fun time in my house because that's when all the weird questions come out. My daughter really starts questioning this world, and she has some pretty creative questions. One of those questions had to do with the seasons. Yeah, these 4 seasons that we call spring, fall, winter, and summer. What would happen if they were not in the order they are? What would happen if we could switch it up a little bit? That was one of the questions she asked me. And it really comes to mind when I think of the reason why we call fall, fall. Do you know the reason why it's called fall? Well, stick around and I'll tell you the etymology of the word. And it's really a simple thing. So stick around and we'll get into it next. Change is inevitable, and it's actually something that we can be thankful for. Why? Well, because we know that if something we're going through, it's really hard, it's not going to last forever. I love how the Bible talks about it. Over in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it starts off in verse 1. It says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven." I'm thankful for that because, hey, things are always changing. It stays interesting, right? Now, when you think about seasons, you likely think about the 4 seasons that we encounter every single year. It's a cycle over and over and over again, right? You've got winter, you've got spring, you've got summer, you've got fall. Those are the 4 seasons. Well, my little girl, she's been questioning that here lately. It's like, hey, what would happen if we had winter right after summer? We just skipped fall altogether. Or what if we had spring and fall, like one after the other? I said, well, it's a cool idea, but what would happen though? I mean, all of a sudden, if you're going from summer to winter, you got everything green and lush and full, and then in winter, everything's gone. Everything's dead. There's no transition time. And so it got me to thinking a little bit. Why do we call these seasons what we call them? I don't know if you know the history of this. I didn't until I searched this out. So Here you go. Why do we call spring spring? Well, believe it or not, it has to do with the leaves, and it has to do with plants springing forth from the ground, those leaves springing forth from those limbs. That's how we get the word spring. But before it was called spring, guess what it was called? In Old English, it was called Lent. That's right. So spring is a relatively new term. All right. Well, what about winter? Well, I did a little search on that one as well, and it derives from a Germanic and European word, which means wet and wind, or white. So white, wet equals snow. So that's where we get winter from. How cool is that? All right. And then let's see. How about summer? Well, summer actually means one or together. And that makes sense because everything kind of comes together for summer. You don't have a lot of changes. Everything's kind of steady, right? But here's the one that really got me. Why do we call fall and not autumn? Why is it called autumn in other places? Well, believe it or not, the etymology of that word, well, it isn't really that old. Go back to the 1500s, and that is when it got called autumn and it got called fall. So the reason why fall is even a term is because of the leaves. The leaves fall from the limbs, and that's the reason why it's called fall. But over in England, well, they call it autumn. So what happened was, before it was even called autumn, it was called harvest or harvest. Basically, it's this whole idea of picking, plucking, gathering, and preserving crops before winter. That's where the actual word came from. So with autumn, then fall. So that's the reason why we have two choices, and that is only an American thing, because back when people from Britain were relocating to North America, and before the U.S. became the U.S., well, those people, they had these two terms in mind. They had autumn and they had fall. And autumn lost, fall won. And so here in the U.S., we call it autumn or fall, and it's fine. But there aren't really other words for other seasons, you know? I mean, I've never heard anybody call summer anything but summer, unless you want to talk about synonyms, and that could be hot. But the season of hot? No, it's a season of summer. So anyway, just there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes we don't really know. We just kind of take it as it is, right? Everybody's called it this, so this is what we call it. Well, why do we call it that? Sometimes questioning things really helps us understand a little better. Ooh, that'll preach, won't it? Because sometimes we just take for granted that things are the way they are in our lives, and we don't really look behind the scenes to see why. Start looking behind the scenes. I think you'll get a little more understanding of what's going on in your life, why things are called what they're called, why people act the way they act, and that's the part that really matters. Sometimes we don't know their story. We don't know the reason why they're acting the way that they are, but once we understand what they're dealing with, we can sympathize with them a little more. I know this kind of took a weird turn, but stick with me. I'm going to bring up a topic that I talked about 2 days ago here on the show. If you weren't here, don't worry. I'm going to bring you up to speed. Basically, it's a story about this mom. She's got a 6-year-old. This 6-year-old has been bullied at school so many times, and this mom has gone to the principal, has gone to the teacher, and nothing ever seems to happen. It just so happens that she got bullied again, and this time mom was not having it. And so she went back to the school. She had a meeting. She made a rash decision, and she's wondering, did she make the right decision or not? I'll tell you all the details coming up here on the show. Stick around because I got an answer to this question that I asked the other day. I have not been able to play it on the air yet, and it is so good. You have got to hear it. There's a different perspective on this whole thing. So stick around. You'll be glad you did, okay? All right. I'm getting ready to reopen a story that we talked about 2 days ago here on the show. It has to do with a mom and a bully and her 6-year-old daughter and teachers and a principal and another mom and an idea as to what should have happened. Wow. She acted pretty rashly. And she made a decision in the moment. She's not sure she made the right one. She needs our help. So stick around and we'll see if we can help her after Riley Clemens and For the Good, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Very rarely do I bring a story to the show that has kind of a negative angle to it, but I thought it was necessary because we need to work through some things. Okay, so let me remind you of this story. I shared it 2 days ago on the show, but I'm going to get you up to speed if you weren't here, okay? So there's this mom. She's got a 6-year-old daughter. This 6-year-old daughter's in school. This 6-year-old daughter's been being bullied by some people, and one girl in particular has really been mean to her. Just so happens that this little girl had a really nice lunchbox that her aunt got her, right? A $50 bento box. This thing is customized just for her, has her name on the inside of it. So she went to school with it one day. Well, that afternoon when she came home, that bento box was nowhere to be found. Mom asked her, hey, what happened? And she said, oh, Audrey took it. And that's when Mom said, enough is enough, because she's been having problems. She's been meeting with teachers. She's been talking to parents. She's been talking with the principal. So the next day, 30 minutes before lunch, she decides to show up at the school and ask for a meeting with the principal, with the teacher, and tell them what's going on. They have Audrey come to the room. Audrey brings this lunchbox, this bento box, with her. And she says, oh, that's mine. To which the mom says, hold on a second. If y'all wouldn't mind opening that up, you'll see my daughter's name on the inside of it. Lo and behold, they opened it up, and that is her daughter's box that this little girl, Audrey, had in her possession. So this mom kind of made a rash decision. She decided in the moment, hey, you need to find somewhere else to put that little girl's lunch because that is not her box. You need to find a container, right? You know, I've been mulling this over the past couple days. I even talked with my wife about it, and she's like, well, you know, they could have gone and gotten a lunch tray and put the food on that lunch tray. They could have done this, that, or the other. But instead of finding a container, the principal and the teacher asked if this little girl could just keep the box for the rest of the day since her lunch was in there. The mom wasn't having it. She said, you got 5 minutes to find a place to put the food. They kept arguing, and so Mom opened the box and poured the food out into the trash can in front of the principal, in front of the teacher, and in front of Audrey. So she was wondering, was she in the wrong? And let's be honest, sometimes we make really rash decisions in the moment. On one hand, you want to make sure that your daughter knows that you're sticking up for her, that you've had enough, and this bullying cannot keep going. On the other hand, you've got a little girl, Audrey, who's 6 years old herself, who just had her lunch dumped into the trash by somebody else's mom. That can leave a scar. So what do you do in that situation? She was asking, was I in the wrong? And so I asked you, what would you do in that situation? And I'm so glad that I got this call because it helps put things in perspective. I love this opinion. Here, take a listen to this. Miss Mary Ellis, you are always so full of wisdom, and I love I love getting to pick your brain because, hey, you've seen a thing or two. You absolutely love kids, and you know that kids can have conflict, and you know there's bullying out there, and you heard the story about Audrey and the other little girl and the bento box and what the mom did. What do you think about all that?
Well, it kind of breaks my heart. I've lived, I am wiser. But because I love people so, I pray first. If that mother had prayed first and asked God to lead her, I found through the years that some children isn't loved as well as I've been by their parents. And some parents don't have much to give their children. I had so many different family members to bless me with gifts and, you know, just whatever I needed when I was a child. I had a mother and father that loved me dearly, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and some children maybe don't have that. So the mother really should have prayed about it and asked to meet the mother of Audrey along with the principal and the teacher.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe got a better understanding of what was going on with the little girl. That's the way I feel about it. There was a student that I don't know if you say they adopted her. Her mother gave her to these people, and they treated her badly. It was awful. She stole from me, and I just felt so sorry for her, and nobody could understand why I didn't retaliate. But, you know, I knew the situation. That helps.
Yeah.
And if that mother had known maybe what Audrey's parents were like or what kind of environment she was coming up in, that may have made a difference. I would have never emptied her food out into the garbage. I just wouldn't have done it. I would have maybe seen what I could have done. Maybe bought the little girl a lunchbox myself.
Yeah.
You know.
I got you.
Because that would have been something for that child, Audrey, to remember the rest of her life how kind a mother was when, you know, she didn't deserve it. She gave her grace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love that answer. I love your perspective on it, because there's a little bit of backstory to this, but there could always be deeper backstory. There could always be a better understanding of what environment, of the parents, of how this child is loved. I love that. Thank you so much. You brought so much to the table. So much. That's great. I loved that because I hadn't really thought of it from that perspective before. And that's why I love sharing stories like this. They kind of bring a little conflict, a little drama to the show. I understand. But we deal with drama every single day. And if we can kind of process through it together, we're all the better for it, you know? So Miss Mary Ellis, thank you again for your opinion on that. And thank you so much because, hey, that's a light spot in a really dark place. I appreciate it. All right. More music that you love. I got Torrin Wells and Like You Love Me right here on the Lifeline on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Thanks for hanging out and doing life with me. It's one of the coolest things that happens here on the radio every single weekday morning. It's the car line competition. And when I get these kids on the phone winning gift cards, I get to ask them about the people in their life that really mean a lot to them, the ones they're going to share their gift cards with. And lots of times these kids are shouting out their parents and telling me what they love about them, whether it's mom's cooking or that dad is so funny. And it's always a magical moment because lots of times the parents are in the car with that kid. And I get to ask them, how did it make you feel that they shouted you out? And let me tell you, every time I ask that question, they say it makes them feel wonderful. And there's just something about that relationship between a kid and their parent. And you know what? It never really changes as we get older. It's still special. And I've got a story for you coming up, all about mom, that I think you're going to love. It might hit you in the feels. So get your tissue ready and stick around because it's coming up next. Without mom, we couldn't make it. And regardless of what your relationship is with your mom, that's true. Because if she had not brought you into this world, but you simply wouldn't be here. You have the gift of life because of her. And this is an open letter to mom from Caitlin. She said, "Dear Mom, how could I ever find the words to describe how much you mean to me? All the times you told me how much you loved me growing up, but never fully realizing the magnitude of those words until I had children of my own. I'm grown, married, and a mama to my own herd of children, but I'll never stop needing you. I'll never stop needing the way you step in to help when I feel like I'm drowning. I'll never stop needing to hear your voice when I pick up the phone to call you and tell you about the most random things. I'll never stop needing you to hug me and pat my hair like you did when I was little. I watched you sacrifice and put us first time and time again. I watched you make sure our needs were always met first before your own. I watched you give your all to make sure you raised good humans. Mama, I'll never be too old to ask you what you're making me for supper on my birthday. I'll never be too old to sit on your couch with a cup of coffee while we visit. I'll never be too old to call you for advice and wisdom. Dear Mom, I'll never be too old to stop needing you. Thank you for everything you do for me every day. Thank you for mothering me still today. Here's to the mamas." Wow. Caitlin really has a way with words, and I think we all can relate with that. Enjoy your mom today. Some people don't have the luxury of having mom around, and there are just memories there, and it's sad. And it's happy at the same time because those are tears of joy from the great memories, but those are tears of loss from her not being here anymore. It's hard, but if there's a mom in your life, love them extra special today. If you haven't talked to mom in a while, call her. If you haven't seen her, go see her as soon as you can. Let her know how much you love her. It'll make a big difference. It'll light up her world. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show.
Morning, happy Thursday. Phrase of the day. This is the second time I heard this. That's why I must share it. Everything will get to you if you don't have enough word in you. Everything will get to you when you don't have enough word in you. Easily offended, easily upset. When you don't have enough word in you, everything will get to you. Everything. Get in your word and stay in your word. And you will become unoffendable. Second time I heard this, I had to share. Get into your word. Things are going to happen, but I'm telling you, you get in here and it won't affect you like it affects everybody else. Get in your word. Happy Thursday.
This is amazing. Bring on fall, right? It's 68, 69, or 70 degrees, depending on where you are across North Alabama, but not any hotter than 70. It's feeling fabulous out there. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Hey, your word of life today comes to you from Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Imitate God, therefore, in everything you do, because you are His dear children. Yes, you are. You know what? You should share that word of life with somebody and tell them what it means to you. It's a great way of sharing your faith. We've got it ready for you across all of our socials. That's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, and it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Speaking of our website, you can go there and click those event banners to find out more about these concerts coming up, like the Matt Maher concert. He's going to be with John Reddick. The Stories I Tell Myself tour. That's happening next Thursday night in Trussville at Clear Branch Methodist Church. You can click that banner for more info. Plus, we've got one coming up in October. That's the Elevation Nights concerts. Elevation Worship, Stephen Furtick in Birmingham at the Legacy Arena. That's going to be a blast. And then in November, got another one coming. Andrew Ripp with Rachel Lampa and Blessing Offer with the Big Feelings Tour. That's going to be in Huntsville at Mars Music Hall, Sunday, November 12th. More information about all those can be found right there at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. And just above them is the On Now button. Click that and you can listen to us from wherever you happen to be. We'd love to keep you company all day long and keep bringing you some good music, like this song right here. Here's Terrian. Right now, it's your chance to win some concert tickets, a family 4-pack to Matt Maher, the Stories I Tell Myself tour, coming to Trussville next Thursday night. I know it's a little bit of a drive, but it's 4 tickets to the concert. If you would like to go, call me up, 256-505-0885. Be the first one and let me know you want to go, and guess what? You'll land those tickets. 256-505-0885. Matt Maher, John Reddick, the Stories I Tell Myself tour, coming up on next Thursday night in Trussville. And there is my caller. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Wonderful. Did you hear that cue to call about a concert?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. All right. Do you like Matt Maher?
Yes, I do.
All right. Some John Reddick in there, too. It's going to be an amazing show. And I imagine maybe you want 4 tickets to go to the concert?
That'd be awesome.
Well, I'd be glad to give them to you. Congratulations. You're my first caller.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Oh, you're very welcome. So glad I could make your day just a little bit better. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing night. I know it's kind of weird. It's on a Thursday, but it's still going to be great. So, hey, tell me a little something about yourself. Tell me about what Christian music means to you.
Christian music always ministers to me. I would say that it's something that lifts me up and encourages me all the time. And, you know, you always get that right song on the radio that's just at the right, perfect moment.
Awesome. I'm so glad that God works that out the way He does, because there are people going through stuff and they hear exactly what they need to hear at just the right moment. And only He can do that, you know?
Yep, that's right.
That's right. All right. Well, what's your name?
Alice Voiles.
Alice Voiles. Very good. All right. And I need a good email address for you. I think actually I have it. Hold on one second.
Yeah, it's funny because I haven't got through on a radio station in a long time to win anything. It's kind of interesting.
Really? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you got through here.
All the time, and then you start doing it, and it's like, oh, I never get through. I finally got through one.
All right. I will send you over a family 4-pack of tickets via email. So you'll be getting those in the next little while. You're very, very welcome. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great day.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye.
I got to say just a little bit more about how God does that thing, where it's just the right thing at just the right time that somebody needs to hear. I've witnessed Him do it before. And let me tell you how humbling it is to be sitting here at the board, hitting the buttons that play the music. because sometimes he just wows me. I'm serious. Sometimes I'm talking about a topic here on the radio, and the perfect song is right after that topic. I didn't plan it that way. It just has so happened that it was there. It was like it was planned ahead of time. And I didn't plan it. Only he can do that. That's pretty cool stuff. So, hey, be open to what he has for you today. Be listening. Be watching. Look for God in your day, and you're going to find him. I guarantee it. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show.
Keep me right there in the middle of your love.
We need him to keep us in the middle of his love, especially when we're dealing with loss. Can we talk about it for a second? I don't talk about it very much here, but I know we need to. Somebody who's meant so much to you for all your life, all of a sudden, they're not here anymore. There are a lot of emotions there, aren't there? You miss them. It's one of those things, it's like, well, they knew Christ, so you know that when you get done on this earth, when your race is run, you get to go see them again and be with Jesus. But it helps a little bit knowing that. But otherwise, you just miss them, you know? And you have those fond memories you can look back on, but still, their closeness, it's something that you just don't have anymore. It's hard to process. A lot of people, well, they turn to writing poems to get through those tough spots. I came across this guy. His name is Caesar the Poet. And he's been putting a lot of his poems out on social media lately. I came across this one and I just had to share it with you. He's going through a lot right now, and he's processing by putting his words into poetry. Take a listen.
Good morning, Caesar the Poet. I want to talk to you. So today I'm going to lay my mother's friend, Miss Frances, to rest. 133 days ago, I did the same thing for my mom. It's amazing how this thing called miss can be so hurtful. I miss you. I was thinking of some people, and you were first on my list. The first one I thought about, the one that I miss. The feeling of missing you is more than I could bear. Wishing I could pick up a phone so your voice I could hear. If only I could see you, just to give you a kiss. To hold you in my arms, that's what I miss. I miss the fun and the laughter and your beautiful smile. I miss the times we spent together to make my life worthwhile. And even though we're apart, this feeling is so bizarre. Sometimes I feel your presence. You're so close, but yet so far. And as I sit here, feeling lonely, sad, and blue, I never missed anyone as much as I miss you. Miss Frances, tell my mother I said hello.
Thanks so much for hanging out with me today here on the Lifeline Morning Show. The time has almost come for me to tell you goodbye. But before I do, I want to leave you with one final thought. This is the inspiring quote that I started the show off with this morning at 6 o'clock. I've had 4 hours to think about it, and you know what? Sometimes these quotes, they just come to life over those 4 hours. Here's what I got this time. So the quote goes like this: experience is one thing you can't get for nothing. Wow, how true that is. You know, there's a verse that comes to mind with that particular quote. It's from Proverbs 15:22. It says, plans go wrong for lack of advice. Many advisors bring success. What does it take to get experience? It's one of those catch-22s when you're looking for your first job, right? It's because you don't get hired because you don't have experience, but you don't have experience because you've never gotten hired before. Well, it takes you putting some skin in the game. It takes your time. It takes your effort. It takes you getting out of your comfort zone to learn that new thing. And lots of times, that can come about quite easily if you find somebody to connect with who's already doing that thing. You kind of get in their realm of influence, and you get to kind of pick their brain about things that they're doing. And maybe they invite you to come along and learn a little more under their tutelage. You know what I mean? It really helps. It helps you gain the experience that you need so that you can fulfill that position that you're wanting to fill. But don't let your lack of experience keep you from going for it. Because, sometimes God works it out really quick. He puts just the right people in just the right places to help you along that journey He's called you to. So don't let your lack of experience keep you from moving forward. Trust God that He's going to put everything into place that you need to make that thing happen, and He'll do it.